Okay, folks, here we are back again. This is the 2018 AP number 6. It was a non-calculator question, but obviously it's going to be a calculator question. And we're going to do this one together. I'm going to show you the only trick that they can do on a differential equation for you. And we're going to talk about the problem. I wrote down the equation they gave me. I'm going to put the page on for just a minute so we can talk about part A together, which is right here. It says, consider the differential equation, dy dx equals 1/3 x, y minus 2, close parentheses, squared. In this problem, there's no cross multiplying. Cross multiplying doesn't work. But if cross multiplying doesn't work, you can move something to the other side and change it to a positive or negative exponent, which is probably what's going to happen. But the first problem is a slope field. And slope fields are easy. Don't overthink slope fields. Literally, fill in a point and then just follow the paths. You're trying to like ride the wave of the field. So here it says a slope field for the given differential equation is shown below. Sketch the solution curve that passes through the point 0, 2. And sketch the solution curve that passes through the point 1, 0. So all I'm going to do is go to the point 0, 2 to start with, which is right here. And what do you notice about all of the lines there? They are flat. So the solution curve for 0, 2 would be that right there. Always remember part A is going to be very basic and very quick. The other point to the solution is 1, 0, which is here, and it's going to follow the curves and it's along. If you don't hit it exactly, guess what? It's okay, but you can kind of see what it's going to do. Go up. Did I graph it perfectly? No, but that's still full credit. All you got to do is get those shapes on the graph, and I'm almost positive they're going to ask you a slope field question. Okay, the second part says, let f of x, y equals f of x, be the particular solution to the differential equation with the initial condition f of 1 equals 0. You should have your packet out for this problem. I'll give you a couple seconds to get the packet. So they're saying y equals f of x is a solution to the equation. And the initial condition is f1 of 0. So I'm assuming they want me to solve this differential equation. Here was the trick on this problem. It says write an equation for the tangent line to the graph of y equals f of x at x equals 1. A tangent line. Please remember, as soon as you're a tangent line, line. A tangent line is equal to f prime of c, x minus c, and f of c. So as soon as you hear the word tangent line, it's forget your derivative, your cross-country team, and forget you. And they want me to do this at x equals 1. So they want the tangent line is going to be at f prime of 1, x minus 1, and f of 1. And the whole thing this test is doing is trying to test you whether you can identify symbols from other symbols. So the first thing they're asking me for, well, I'll do the easy stuff first. F of 1. Well, they told me f of 1 is 0. I can fill that 0 right on there. So the real question is, what is f prime of 1? Well, f prime so don't overthink it. F prime means a derivative. Derivative of f prime, another way of saying that is dy dx. So they want the slope when x is 1. Well, when x is 1, this is why this problem is so tricky. X equals 1, y equals 0. So dy dx equals 1/3 times 1, 0 minus 2 squared. 1/3 times 4, 4/3. So the symbol for f prime could be dy dx based on these equations right here. This would be y prime or dy dx equals f prime of x. They're looking for symbol change. So L of x equals 4/3. X plus 1. You can add the 0 on or you could leave the 0 off. And they asked me to use that to estimate the value of the graph at x equals 0.7. So f of 0.7 is approximately L of 0.7, which equals 4/3, 0.7 plus 1. And this was a non-calculator question. It's going to be a calculator. I'm going to watch that with the math. 4/3 times 0.7 minus 1 over plus is the same as 0.3, which is equal to 4 over 3 times 3 over 10. Negative, is it negative? Yeah, because it's minus 1. Cancel, cancel. Negative 4 over 10. Negative 0.4. As long as you have that one symbol right there, you're good to go. But for us, we're just going to put it in a calculator. We're not going to do all that work that I just did right there. And then the last part of the problem, we bring it in, says find the particular solution to that differential equation given the initial condition of f of 1 equals 0. I'm going to work it out the long way first, and then I'm going to put it in the calculator and show you what you could do. So to solve this problem out, let's get a different color here. I feel like Bob Ross. Let's go to Happy Tree. Let's make it red. All right. So we've got, let's start right here, dy over dx equals 1/3 x y minus 2 squared. Going orange. I'm going to turn this into fractions. Equals x y minus 2 squared over 3. You didn't have to do that step, but I did it. Yeah, let's do that. Now, let's not do that. Let's try a different way. Let's just put all this over 1. So we'll cross multiply and get dy equals 1/3 x y minus 2 squared dx. Either way, I'm going to get the same answer, so it's not a problem. This y minus 2 squared is on the wrong side of the equation. So I am going to bring it to the other side of the equation as y minus 2 to the negative 2. That's just moving it to the other side, dy equals 1/3 x dx. I've now separated x's and y's and dx's and dy's. So the y's and dy's are on one side, x's and dx's are on the other side. So I'm now going to integrate. The integral of something to the negative 2. To the negative 1. So I go to the negative 1 power, put negative 1 on the outside, equals. So it's going to be 1/3 times 1/2 x squared plus c. So simplifying that, I get negative y minus 2 to the negative 1 equals 1/6 x squared plus c. That answer is right. I can leave it just like that. It asks me to solve the differential, and they give me an initial condition. And f of 1 equals 0. So when x equals 1, y equals 0. So I can put that in now and simplify. I'll probably do that. Let's see what happens. I've got, let's figure out what c is right now. Let's go with, I'm filling 0. Oh, x is 1 and y is 0. So I'm going to fill that in right here. It's going to be negative 2 minus 1 equals 1/6 1 plus c. Okay, so that means this side of the equation is 1/6 plus c. And this side of the equation is going to be negative times a negative is a positive. And the flip of 2 is 1/2. So 1/2 minus 1/6 equals c. A calculator for this if I wanted to, and it's 1/2 minus 1/6. If I simplify it, I get c is equal to 1/3. So for us to fill this in, I've got negative y minus 2 to the negative 1 equals 1/6 x squared plus 1/3. You could leave it like that. I would suggest solving for y. First thing I'll do is multiply everything by the minus sign, minus on both sides. So I get y minus 2 to the negative 1 equals negative 1/6 x x squared minus 1/3. And then put both sides to the negative 1 power. Y equals negative 1/6 x squared minus 1/3 to the negative 1 power. All that work I just did, you're not going to have to do on the AP test. I know just working out so I can show you what the problem looked like. If you guys get this, it's going to be a calculator question. Now the answer I might get might look different from this, and that's okay. So I'm going to move this off to the side so we can, move my graph so I can see it. Let's put the original in, which is right there. First, I'm going to do it as a differential equation solver. I have just the right amount of time. Calculus. Differential equation solver. I can't put in dy dx, so I'm going to put in y pi prime equals fraction 1/3 x times, in parentheses, y minus 2, close parentheses, squared, down from the squared, then already down, comma, independent variables x, comma, dependent variables y. That's what that equation is equal to right there. Mine looks a little different, but it'll still work out to give the same thing. And you can always solve for c from there, meaning you could go menu solve. So if I'm solving for the specific c, I can go and fill these numbers in. Y was 0. X was 1. Let's see if this is going to work. I'm not even sure if it will. Let's go comma. Solve for, let's see if you can C2. No, let's go C2. Oh, let's try it again. Hold on. Oh, bad. Let's clear it out. That's not going to work because that C2 is not that C2. Let's try this. Let's go down to here. Change this to some letter. Let's go N. N. Oh, and there's the answer. N is equal to 1/3. It would solve it out, and that's what we got from before on the calculator. Just so you know, for the, I know I'm running out of time, for the slope field, if you want to do a slope field, Control plus, if you want to see what it looked like, and graph. Let's turn that light off, see if that helps. Yep, let's change the graph. Graph entry, change it to differential equation, and put in y prime is equal to 1/3. 1/3 times x times parentheses. Here's the only trick on these problems. You got, if it says y1 on there, you have to put y1 minus 2 close parentheses squared. Hit enter. There's that slope field. If you want to see the solution for the point, is back to the beginning. If you want to see the solution for the point 0, 2, you enter in 0, 2, hit enter. Let me zoom out.